For my creative project, I'm going to be discussing the different kinds of sleep disorders, as well as the symptoms and factors attributed to these sleep disorders, behavioral and biological effects in response to these sleep disorders, and possible treatments for these sleep disorders. Sleep is an essential biological function that can be distorted by a wide variety of sleep disorders that may induce emotional, physical, and motor responses. Millions of people around the world suffer from some form of sleep disorder, which can include narcolepsy, insomnia, night terrors, sleep apnea, sleepwalking, and sexsomnia. Before opening up with a discussion about insomnia, I thought it would be interesting to highlight the results from the American College Health Association's Spring 2015 National Research Survey, which outlines some interesting results. 3.6% of males suffer from insomnia, while 5% of females suffer from insomnia. A total of 5% of the sampled college population suffers from insomnia. It is also important to note that the reference group consisted of 93,034 respondents, with an overall response proportion of 22.4%. In addition, the average age of the study was 23 years of age, while 66.6% of the participants were female. 32.2% of the participants were male, and 0.4% were transgender. Nevertheless, the survey highlights the fact that insomnia remains a persistent issue on college campuses. Arguably the most common type of sleep ailment is insomnia. Personally, for me, I frequently suffer from insomnia due to my elevated stress levels or when I come back from a trip due to jet lag, because I do travel a lot in my spare time, or from relationship issues, which in my case was a recent breakup. I also prefer caffeine more so towards the night, which only exacerbates my sleeping difficulties. In addition, a recurrent problem that strengthens my insomnia is that I typically will actively fixate on the fact that I cannot sleep right away, which causes me to become quite frustrated. As a result, I find myself being unable to get a sufficient amount of sleep. Sleeping pills like Ambien and Lunesta are effective in treating insomnia, although they may ironically prolongate insomnia due to dependency issues, and brief psychotherapy has been shown to be more effective than Ambien. In addition, Ambien and Lunesta carry legitimate risks. Apart from psychotherapy and pills, James Mass recommends that people hide their clocks, sleep in cool environments, sleep at consistent times, and avoid visual stimulations prior to sleeping. People with narcolepsy will experience intense desire towards going to sleep, which can last anywhere from a few seconds to several minutes and perhaps as long as an hour. Some individuals with narcolepsy can also experience cataplexy, or a complete loss of muscle tone, due to strong emotions and sexual excitement. Additionally, during a narcoleptic episode, people will not only experience vivid hypnagogic hallucinations, but also will proceed straight into REM sleep, which suggests that these individuals have an imbalanced sleep cycle. Some narcoleptic victims even suffer from social anxiety disorders and depression, which stems from their sleep condition. In the preceding example, I wanted to show a female who is experiencing a narcoleptic episode in which she experiences cataplexy and multiple sleep spells during her choreographed dance. A lack of orexin production triggers a sudden urge to sleep. As a result, it is proposed that medications that can replenish orexin levels or imitate its properties have the potential towards curing narcolepsy. Like my grandfather, who suffers from sleep apnea, people with sleep apnea will snore profusely, gasp, and cease breathing for short durations of time. This lack of breathing will rouse the person multiple times, leading to fatigue and a high degree of tiredness. It is also interesting to note that due to habituation, most individuals who snore are not awoken by their own snores because they have grown accustomed to the sounds of their own snores. Due to a lack of oxygen and the subsequent buildup of carbon dioxide, sleep apnea individuals will experience fatigue, weight gain, night sweats, and an increased risk for cognitive impairments. Therefore, a common treatment includes weight loss or a breathing apparatus, which my grandfather also employs, which forces the airway to remain open through the application of air through the nasal passages. Although night terrors commonly affect children, night terrors are also prevalent in adults. Night terrors are mostly harmless sleep experiences that invariably occur in non-REM sleep. Children who experience night terrors usually scream, cry, perspire, kick, thrash, and assume a confused state. Some children may also be wide-eyed shortly before falling into a deep sleep. Additionally, children who experience night terrors often have no recollection of the event the following morning.
Finn.
Treatment options range from anticipatory awakening, in which a child is woken up usually 15 minutes before the child or individual experienced the event. Medications like antidepressants and benzodiazepines are rarely used but still serve as treatment options. Finally, treatment aimed at underlying conditions, such as obstructive sleep apnea, may also lessen the frequency of night terrors. Like night terrors, sleepwalking occurs regularly in non-REM sleep. Sleepwalkers may be more clumsier than conscious individuals, although sleepwalkers can exhibit the same behavioral sequence as an individual who is awake. Sleepwalkers are known to engage in fascinating activities such as cooking a meal or even operating a motorized vehicle. Like night terrors, sleepwalkers can be treated with medications like antidepressants and anticipatory awakening. Although not a legitimate treatment, but rather a means to cease the act of sleepwalking, family members or loved ones who are present can simply awake the sleepwalker. Finally, in sleep sex, individuals will engage in sexual activities like sexual intercourse and not remember what occurred the preceding morning.